Okay, my name is Stephan Onggo. I'm the Associate Professor of Business Analytics at Southampton Business School. So my main expertise is in simulation modeling, in particular, how to use it in supporting real-time decision making. And I'm also quite interested in how to understand human behavior and then try to put it into a simulation model. So here you can see my Twitter account and also LinkedIn account. So please feel free to connect with me either by LinkedIn or by Twitter. And if you want to know more about what I do or about myself, you can always come and see from my personal website shown here. So today I'm going to give you a typical lecture in analytics at Southampton. So I'm going to use what I know best, which is simulations. So typically, we will start with you have a client, and this client can be your boss or can be a paying customer. And usually, they will come to you and then they simply say, I have a problem. And then as an analytics professional, then okay, so what is your problem? Tell me a bit more about that. Then typically they will tell you, oh, okay, in this case, let's say we have a client from an emergency department manager. So she is a manager at an emergency department in a hospital. And then she says, some of my patients feel that they spend a long time at the emergency department. And at the same time, some of my staff are feeling so stressful. Can you recommend how I should allocate my budget to solve this problem? So this is a typical scenario in the real world. So someone comes to you asking for help. Now, as an analytics professional, straight away, what will you do is you try to model the problem. So in this case, let me switch to a simulation model. So I hope you can see a screen showing an emergency department. Okay, so this is basically a layout of an emergency department. You can see here that there is a waiting room where patient arrives, and then patient will go to the desk shown there at the bottom to register, and then after that, they will follow a certain pathway. So let me just run the simulation. Maybe it's easier if I show it in 2 dimensions. So I just click on 2D. So you will see the 2 dimensions. The reason why I'll show it here, then because you can see on the left panel, you can see the control that we can use. At the moment, the ED has 6 nurses, has 6 doctors, 4 technicians, and 3 ultrasound devices. So in this case, if I run the simulations, I click the button run, then you can see how how the patient moves between services to different services in the emergency department. But I like you to notice the one at the bottom here. Can you see the bar chart at the bottom for technicians? You can see that the technicians' utilization is roughly about 80%. Now, in the real world, that means the technicians will be very, very busy. So that probably justifies, or that probably explains why some of the staff members are not happy. They are feeling so stressful. So in this case, our simulation model can confirm that. So you can imagine if we show this model to the manager and then talk through, I think that would be quite ideal. So in this case, next to it, you can see a histogram at the bottom right corner. You can see that on average, patients will spend about 45 minutes in the ED. So that probably explains why some patients, they feel that they spend too much for too long in emergency department. In fact, some of them spend almost 100 minutes in the emergency department. So that explains why some patients complain about that. So now the question is, okay, now if you have extra budget, in this case, the most logical way to allocate the budget is, of course, to improve our bottlenecks. So in this case, let's say if we increase the number of technicians to 5, from 4 to 5, then you should see there is a bit of an improvement now. The technicians, slight improvement, but yeah, in the long run, it's not that good. So maybe 5 technicians is not enough. So maybe we need a bit more. So let's click 6 now. Now we can see a slight change. Now the technicians now has improved. The utilization has improved to under, well, roughly about 60%. Now that is more manageable. And then if you look at the time, on average now, the patients spend roughly about half an hour, which is a big improvement from 45 minutes. So then you can imagine the powerful, how powerful this tool is for management decision making. So now you can say to the manager, hi, I think the best is if you allocate your extra budget to hire 2 more technicians. So we would expect, so you can say to the manager that we would expect the time spent in the ED will be reduced by 15 minutes or 10 minutes, and the utilizations of the technicians will be reduced by 30%. So that is really good, because then the manager can quantify that and then make justifications, make a strong case, and then can allocate the budget accordingly. So let me just stop this one, these simulations. And then if you look at my other screens now, let me just show you how it looks like. So can you see the model on the screen? Yeah, so here, basically, this is exactly what you will learn in my module. It is quite a nice software where you can simply just click and drag, and then show the movement of patient. In this case, you can see patient arrive, and then go to registrations, queue at the registrations, do the registration, and so on and so forth. So basically what you do here is you try to model the flow of patients inside ED. So in this module, later on, you will learn not only knowing how to use simulations, but you will learn how to use tool to implement your simulation model. So now let me go back to my slides again. So what do we learn? In a way, what you do is quite similar to this, isn't it? In real life, if you have a problem, you see this problem, straight away you need to find the right tool to solve this problem. I'm just wondering, how many of you will choose these tools shown in front of you to solve this problem? Obviously, you cannot use a chisel, right? So maybe, can we use this tool? Well, I believe some of you will say yes. Yes, we can use that. But the next question would be, is it the right tool? Is that the best tool for this problem? So later on, you will see the same thing in analytics. Yes, you can solve certain problems using a certain technique, but the question is that the best technique for solving the problem? So it's the same as here. Yes, you can solve it temporarily, but in the long run, this causes a lot of more damage. Yeah. Of course, will you use this one? No, that will be overkill. So this is the right tool. Obviously, when there is another problem, a different problem, then you will use a different tool. So in analytics, in business analytics, when you study with us, that's exactly what you will learn. Instead of learning how to hammer nails, of course, you will learn how to apply linear programming, how to apply linear regressions, what kind of problem that can be solved using discrete event simulations, what kind of problem that can be solved using k-means clustering. So this is the one that you will learn. So in a way, imagine yourself after graduating from this program, you will learn a set of tools, and then how to use that tools, how to solve a problem, a business problem. So that's basically what we are offering in this program. So to summarize what I'm going to, my lecture today, there are 4 skills, key skills that you need to learn to be a good business analytics professional. First, you need to learn how to formulate business problems into analytics models. This is, remember, in my case, a client comes to you, say, I have a problem. Now, that conversation cannot be solved mathematically. You need to translate that one into a simulation model. So you need to learn how to formulate a business problems into analytics model. Then you can solve it. So the second skill is to understand concepts and methods in business analytics. So this is where you need to understand which tool is better for this problem. So what tool is better for which problem? So this is where you need to learn. So you need to learn a lot of some of the key concepts and methods in business analytics, such as simulations, the one that I showed you earlier, or optimizations, or data mining, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, you need to learn to be able to solve it. You need to be able to build the model, run it, and execute it. Just like what I showed you earlier, you need to learn, okay, I know I can use simulation model, but then you need to learn how to implement it using a tool. So in the lecture, I show you that we use a tool called AnyLogic. So you will learn this tool as well in my module. Now, after you apply the tool, you will get some results. Now, the next step is you need to be able to communicate well. You need to be able to tell your clients, your boss, about the insights and recommendation based on your analysis. And of course, you need to do it in a professional manner. So in this case, I'll just show you earlier, okay, we basically will say to the ED manager, you should allocate your budget for adding 2 extra technicians. And the impact will be a reduction in the time spent in the ED by 10 minutes and a reduction in utilizations of the technicians by 30%. So this kind of communications will really help a decision maker to make good decisions. So I think that is my last slide. So I think I will welcome questions, and then I will hand over back to Rob. Rob, can you hear me?
Wonderful. Thank you, Stephan. Lovely insights into your module and into the area of business analytics as well. I think a really good presentation has 2 characteristics. One, you learn something for your professional life, which we did, and also for our personal life. Any aspiring DIYers out there, don't try and use a hammer to screw in a nail. Thank you, Stephan. That's wonderful. Obviously, you're the program manager for BAMS, and so you're heavily involved in the design of the program and the managing of the program. And I think what many of the offer holders who have joined us here today want to get a feel for is, in your opinion, what is it that makes this program so exceptional? What is it about this program which is so great, and why they should come here?
Okay, thank you, Rob. So, I was expecting these questions actually from the audience today. So I have prepared 2 slides on this. So let me just show you. I think the first thing that makes our program exceptional is that the students will be taught by academic staff from COMSIS. So if you do not know what COMSIS is, simply Google COMSIS Southampton. There is only one COMSIS in the world. And this is a Center for Operation Research, Management Sciences, and Information Systems, which is one of the largest and one of the most excellent OR group in the world. And also, you will be taught by decision analytics and risk staff from the decision analytics and risk department in business school. And even if of course, people will say, yeah, of course you will say your department is the best in the world. Well, don't take our word for it. Just look at the ranking from QS. This year, we are ranked 37 in the world for statistics and operation research. And last year, we were ranked 48th. So you can see that we have grown from strength to strength every year. Now, that is probably, okay, that is probably, yeah, that is from the research aspect, the quality of the staff. But no, it's not just that. If you look at the next point, our students, ComSys MSc students, have won the May Hicks Award in almost every year that I can remember in the past 4 or 5 years. So May Hicks Awards, if you do not know, is the highest, the most prestigious awards in the UK given to a student's project. So this year is the award goes to Joe, and he's doing a optimization model at Babcock's. And Babcock's is really great company. It's a big company. If you haven't heard the name, just Google it. You know how massive this company is. So basically, these students, when they just like you, all of you here, the same time last year, 2 years ago, they are also looking for a place at Southampton. When they enroll to Southampton, start in October, all of them got the same opportunity to use all the resources that we give them: staff resources, library, software. And then some students really make the best use of those resources, and they really can excel and then prove to the world that they are the best. So if they can do this one, why can't you? I believe one of you will be like him, or like the other students in the previous years. So the point that I say here is that almost every year we have won this award. So it means that we must have done something right at Southampton. Okay, and obviously, if you take this program, you will become, a member of you will become alumni member of one of the largest and excellent OR groups in the world. Which I think these 3 points can, will be very excellent to come to your CV. The second point, obviously, you will learn all the key techniques and tools. Techniques, I mean, like simulation, optimizations. Tools will be the software that we will use during the teaching. So in Southampton, we will use a balance between theory and practice. So you will not learn just the theory, but really you need to solve real world problem using the techniques that you will learn. And most of our modules are research lab, because most of our staff, they are really the best in their field. And so you should not be surprised if during the lecture your lecturer will show you a case study based on their research or their consulting projects in the past. That is very common at Southampton. Now, one more thing that I think Southampton is unique is that, if you want to learn how to solve problems in operations, for example, operations management, which one is better? An analytics professional who knows how to compute stuff, do mathematical stuff, or do quantitative stuff, or an analytics professional who not only know that, but they also know what operations management is. Think about it. In Southampton, you also learn some management topics. You will learn operations management, you learn project management, yeah, and there are a lot of topics related to risk management as well as logistics. So I think that makes Southampton very unique, because I know that not many other programs offer management topics. Finally, a lot of people like the idea that when you join Southampton, you will have the opportunity to take what we call ComSys project, which basically is an organization-based projects in which you will be embedded into an organization. It doesn't mean that you will work inside the organization, but you will work closely with someone from the organization. But it can be that you will be you have to work in the office as well. But obviously it is not possible this year because of COVID-19. But in the past, some students, they have to move to London, for example. They have to move to to Bristol because the companies are based in Bristol or London, for example. And this year we have some projects from UK, China, and India. And last but not least, I think Southampton, as COMSIS especially, we are very good. We have a very good support for career. Just if you haven't looked at this one, if you go to YouTube channel, try to find University of Southampton Business School channel. In there, we have just recently posted a video about career and analytics. It's an excellent video prepared by our colleagues, Martin, Kung, Kelly, Julie. They've done excellent jobs in producing this video. It shows you about some of the job markets during COVID-19. So I really suggest you to check this career and analytics video. Yeah.
Thank you. That's absolutely.
Oh, yeah, one last thing, Rob. One last thing. I just, for interest, if you are on Twitter, please follow COMSIS Twitter, so that you can learn what the activities that are done by our students, as well as great stuff that done by our staff. This one of them is this. Last year in November, 2 alumni of Southampton, they, oops, can you see the slides? Yeah. 2 alumni, Emily and Laura, they host kind of competitions for using a case study from British Airways. And our students, MSc and BUM students, won the first prize. You look at the text in red. Those are done by the Flying Panda from MSc BUMs in Southampton. So you can see here, our students really, they really can apply what they learn and then to solve real problem from the British Airways. Amazing. And this is just in November. Remember, they were just 2 months into the program. Rob, I think that's my answer.
Fantastic. I mean, we've got lots of questions coming through, and we can try and pick some of them up and unpack them as we go through. Just to summarize, I think it's a brilliant takeaway point that you've made, Stephan, which is the idea that any of our students, any of our offer holders sitting in at home watching your video today, when it comes to the OR Society Prize, that could be any of them. All they have to do is to apply and learn from like lecturers like yourself in these areas, and they will have that kind of success that we see our former student have, our current student have. Many of the students here will also be asking the question about their future career prospects, Stephan, and obviously we have an exceptional postgraduate employment rate here of 92%. Who are in graduate roles within 6 months after graduating. Can you just give us a flavour of the types of roles that students go on to do just in the last couple of years?
Okay, thank you, Rob. Yeah, as an excellent questions, because as you know, in the job market, there are a lot of titles related to business analytics. Some job titles they will simply call analytics professional. Some they will call business analytics or business analyst. But the problem with the term business analytics, it can be confused with someone from computer science. But so you need to look at the detail, the descriptions of the job. Some of them will ask for use the old names like operation researchers. But quite often they use also terms like business intelligence experts or the business intelligence professionals. Yeah, I think it's quite a lot of different flavor. Data scientist is also the key, quite often used for in the job market. But I think what I suggest is that look at the descriptions. quite often, if the job requires skills in optimizations, in forecasting, in simulations, in Python programming, that is the one that is related to MSc bumps. And one more thing, let me just comment, this 92% is for the overall in business school. I don't have the breakdowns, but when I was in a different universities in the UK, I know that the employment for analytics, business analytics, is way above the average. So in my previous institutions, it's even as high, can be as high as 100%. So, but that it was pre-COVID. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works in COVID. But having said that, if you follow Julie's, for example, later on, if you join us, Julie is our external liaison. She keeps posting a lot of job advertisement, even during COVID-19. All of them are in analytics and mainly offered by our alumni. So it is always good to have a strong, big alumni networks.
I think that's a really great point. So I think it's important to note that we hold students' hands through the activities and the education that we provide them. You've mentioned the Cormsys projects and how we're very international in the sense that students will have the opportunity, it's competitive, but students will have the opportunity to work on live projects in the UK. Well, obviously, we have the base in China and India and hopefully in Indonesia soon as well. And so we really do help students get this practical experience through their degree. But that isn't the end of the road either. We obviously have and put a lot of care and attention into helping students get their first position outside of the degree program. And we're delighted, obviously, to have this wonderful careers set up in the University of Southampton. And I do just want to raise and flag this for our offer holders here, that as a student of the university, you will have the opportunity to have one-to-one coaching, you'll have help with your CVs, we'll help you prepare for interviews, and on campus and virtually, we have a number of different careers fairs, virtually this year with the FMD, with employers from all over the world, and as an alumni, as Stephan already mentioned, formally, we have and deliver this service for 5 years after you graduate. But as a Cormsys alum, that kind of care and attention doesn't really ever come to an end because it's a very close network where people are obviously communicating and in touch with themselves through LinkedIn and other platforms. Cormsys itself also gives our offer holders, our students, sorry, a really, really close connection to the world of practice. Can you just talk to some of the events and activities that you have, Stephan?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. One on top of what the school provides to the students, Cormsys also give a lot of practitioner talks where we invite people from industry, typically analytics manager or director, to give a talk, to give flavors what they need from a graduate, what kind of problems they solve. So this has been proven to be a very interesting and very useful for our students. We also give a career talk specifically tailored towards analytics. And then I have already mentioned about the alumni network. And one last point about Cormsys is that if you are a student in one of the Cormsys programs, then automatically you can join the OR Society, the Operation Research Society, for a free student membership. And the good thing about joining them is that it will come with also job fairs, usually in November. There will be some a job fair. So this year will be virtual as well. And also you can have access to their career resources as well as the job advertisements posted at the OR Society. It's a brilliant, they provide a lot of brilliant resources for students.